Oh, how fun, all of us. And 3 of us are matching, kind of.
Period.
Work.
And none for Brandon. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yes.
Anyway, hello, bonjour, hi, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay, I am currently drinking some ginger peach iced tea because that's what my boyfriend made and I wanted some. So that's all. But as always, right next to me, I don't drink out of it anymore. It's kind of just for show. It is indeed a cup mug. Yes, we'll do that. And you can get your cup mug and all of our other merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America, and that does include Canada. And we do also ship internationally, so there are no excuses. Period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. And I decided to wear this shirt because I have seen how mean the internet has been to this person for the past several months, and it's just out of control. But I'm wearing my Eureka O'Hara shirt. No, she's not perfect. Okay. Yes, she has issues, but she still does not deserve the amount of hate that she's been getting. And I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her, especially after hearing a lot of her story this episode. But I'm not drinking anything. No, I still need to go get a water because I'm a little dehydrated. Go get your water. I'll do that right now.
Go have your water, bitch.
Have your moment
right now.
Speaking of Eureka, there we go. That was not intentional, but
Work. I am Brandon, professional fangirl of Construct Dragon video games. I'm just drinking water that I just got out of my car because lazy. So, it was from last night, so I was just like, you know what? Just take this with me because I'm lazy to get my Stanley right now.
Would you say that it's a generic bottle
Very
of water?
Generic, yes. Shout out to Lucy the Duca.
Always.
And I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup. And I do not have a cute shirt, but I do have a cute mug. And today, in honor of the gold medal match for women's soccer that is currently happening right now, I decided to pick my, this is my father's favorite soccer team. So in honor of him, because he's the reason that I started watching football, or soccer, sorry. But
you
anyways,
can
I'm
say
just
football.
drinking.
We're in Canada.
Yeah.
You can say football.
True.
Yeah.
And I am just drinking some water because I was screaming a lot during the first half. So, period.
Yeah, we breaking the fourth wall here for a second. We changed the time that we film these episodes, and after we filmed it, River and I both realized that the gold medal football match was happening literally right now between Brazil and the US. So there may be some football reactions happening during this podcast. I know we're not a sports podcast, but this is one of the few times where
if on my side you hear some screaming, yelling, it's because my window is open, and then that's
I'll be
sad
why. Because it will have meant that Brazil scored.
True.
I am not currently a Brazilian.
I can't wait to see how this game turns out.
I can't wait to see how this game turns out. Hold on, I have it. I can't wait to see how this game turns out. And I also can't wait to see how the rest of this season pans out. We are 2/3 of the way now through Canada's Drag Race Crave Original Canada vs. the World season D. This, I will say, is the first kind of clunky episode of the season.
Yep.
And for me, not on the girls, because I think the girls did great. But I have a few things about production that I'm just questioning very much.
And I will say, I'm happy Fierce is calling out production. I will say that much.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk
honestly,
about
she
it.
is so right. She's 100% correct in this, in my opinion.
But we are going to dive into all of the reading battles, shenanigans, and buffoonery of this episode. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we are here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. That means a lot of drag currently. Next week, there are 4 drag episodes. We're back to 4 for a couple of weeks.
We've had worse.
We'll be at 5 for a week.
Oh.
And that's the most we had at one time. Because we had a premiere and a finale in the same week. And I don't remember what I think it was Italia and something. I don't remember. But and make sure to check the description below for our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for the franchises we are currently covering. So, David Healy, you haven't been here yet for Canada versus the World. So, just like Mexico, I am requiring you to take your moment to talk about the first half of the season that you have missed so far, if you would like it.
Yes,
it's not a requirement.
Of course.
But, okay, cool. Well, in that case,
this is your moment. Have it.
So I think this has been a really fun season so far, but it does feel like the cast has been a little imbalanced, and unfortunately, some people had to pay the consequences for that with LaFille and La Cajena leaving early on. But I'm really enjoying a lot of the personalities we're getting. I think this is the most I've liked most of the queens on here. The American queens, this is the most I've liked any of them. Fierce and Lemon are killing it. I'm rooting for my Canadian queens. I do kind of agree with Fierce about Lemon getting some favoritism. But you know what? I'm not too mad about it because I want to live in a world where my 3 favorites from Canada season 1 are all winners. But Kennedy is the surprise. Like, I knew she was good, but she is just so fun, and I wouldn't mind her being a winner too. So who knows? I heard she was first out, and I'm glad that was not true. But yeah, great season so far, and Brooke looks great as always.
And we'll talk about how great Brooke looks this week, too. Because I don't know if y'all saw who made this look, but I'm excited to talk about it.
I haven't
seen that yet.
Yeah, no. I will say, I do absolutely agree with you. I think this is the most I have liked all 3 of the American queens before. Because for me, specifically, Alexis and Kennedy just don't give a fuck. They could not have a single fuck to give. And I'm kind of living for it. But also, on the flip side of that, I'm like, I wish they, like, there's a little bit of me that's like, do they respect the process of this because it's not U.S. Drag Race? And my answer to that question
Community
is,
service.
So, well, we'll talk about that comment. But it's like, it feels a little bit like, and we even saw this very much so during the Emmy moment that we got during this episode. It doesn't feel like Alexis and Kennedy are connecting with any of the other girls other than Eureka.
I think it's because they are already so established in their careers that they're just doing, I honestly think they're just doing this to have fun and have like a little bit of a resurgence. Like, bring their names back up. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that they need to, but it just mean like to bring a little bit new eyes maybe to like what they're doing. I think that's why, because they've been through it a few times. So like I think they're just coming in with a different mentality than the other girls, and I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, but it's just clearly very different.
It provides for a different dynamic on the overall cast. There's a very different dynamic between, I will just go ahead and say, the American girls versus the 3-time girls, otherwise being, Lemon and Cheryl, versus the 2-time girls. I will say that much.
I think the thing is, Alexis and Kennedy, I don't think the other girls have at least one thing that they're trying to redeem. And I don't think Kennedy and Alexis have anything that they're trying to redeem themselves. So I think they're more free in that way. I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm. I do think, though, with Kennedy, like, maybe she's not trying to redeem anything, but I feel like Kennedy, unfortunately, has never fully connected with the audience. Like, the audience has never just, like, completely backed her. And, like, you go look at her followers on Instagram, and it's like, she should have way more than she has right now.
Kennedy Davenport should have 1 million.
I literally messaged her the other day saying you should be at 1 million already, and she was like, "Thank you." But
I love that.
yeah, she's so sweet, and I feel like this is finally the season where people are really connecting with her, and I love to see it. I love to see it.
That is a criminally low follower count for Kennedy Davenport.
Mhm.
She's at 314K.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, Fierce just hit 100,000. So go follow all the girls from this season. They're all worthy of following and all that kind of stuff. But we come into the workroom. Tainomi's gone, and it's for the best.
Yeah.
I love Tainomi dearly, but like,
Yeah, I don't think she would have done that well in this challenge.
no.
From what we were
You know
seeing from her so far, like, she didn't seem to be.
You know who I do think would have done really well in this challenge and probably would have done really, like, would have succeeded and would have been in the top? LaFell.
That part.
I'm still angry. But
Same.
I love that Tainomi's mirror message was just, Canada, take this home.
Mhm.
I was like,
4 words.
Well, yes.
that's it? Well, yes.
Yes.
And then I do really appreciate that even though we got all the drama from Fierce last episode, I really liked that we got this like apologetic moment from Fierce being like, I'm sorry for the way I treated everyone. And then in confessional talking about how she was really upset that her last moments with Tainomi on this season were them fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's real growth with Fierce on this season. And I'm really happy to see it.
Yeah, but it is one thing to like watch them like apologize and like Lemon and Fear specifically like reconnect. But I'm like, wait a second. Just last week I saw you on Twitter and you all were going at each other, and that was months later. So
Right, literally.
I mean, but you know, the Twitter thing is like they're doing it to entertain us. Basically, it's
True.
not like it's not that deep.
True.
Yeah. Because
Plugging Lemon's new single is not that deep.
available on all streaming platforms? Question mark. Speaking of Lemon, go
would
stream
guess.
Priyanka's album when it comes out. Do all those
That
things.
part. Yes.
I'm hoping to go get to see her in November in Seattle. That's the hope and dream. So we're hoping for that. But I think they're just sisters that fight a lot, but at the end of the day, like they're gonna be there for each other. And so I love seeing the online bickering between the two of them, and the bickering we got on this episode. And we'll talk about it also later. I do love Fierce picking Lemon for the reading battle.
Yes.
I really do. But we come into the workroom the next day. We get, I'm going to say, the dumbest mini challenge in a while, if not ever.
I like this. I
thought it was fun, but this is the kind of dumb mini challenge. I'm like, yes, give me this mini challenge. Because they paid so much for the lighting and the setup in the background that they had to just go get dollar store streamers in order to make this challenge work. Or maybe they were sponsored by Shoppers Drug Mart. I don't know. Does Shoppers Drug Mart sell streamers? Unsure.
Probably.
But we are doing lip sync or swim is the challenge.
I love this mini challenge as well, but then when later in the episode we realized that the mini challenge time during the episode could have been used for something else, I was kind of like, okay, we didn't need this at all. We didn't need this at all.
Oh, at all.
But it was fun nonetheless.
Their drag, right?
But, period.
I mean, I'm glad we got this time with the mini challenge personally, because I was just so I was cracking up. There were 3 people specifically that stood out to me for very different reasons. First of all was Cheryl, who just could not
Yes!
contain herself the whole time. Everything that was coming at her. Yeah, she just was like, but the complete opposite end was Kennedy, who every single thing, she was just like focused. She was not letting a single thing. And I was like, have some fun with it too, Kennedy. But I felt like the person that had the most balance between that, who was very focused, very fierce, and had some fun with it, was Fierce Delicious. Like, she was
Yes.
100% my winner. And I kept thinking, oh, she kind of looks like Brooklyn up there.
She kind of
You
looks
know
like Brooklyn.
what?
She kind there was someone else I was comparing her to. A little bit of like the movement and the lip sync was giving me a little bit of taste as well. I was like, ooh, I love, yes.
Like the model movement,
It was the legs,
right?
Very model.
Yeah, it was the legs for me.
Yeah.
I do love that they were lip syncing to Just What They Want, because that's not an easy song either. And you could tell the girls that knew the lyrics, and you could tell the girls that didn't know the lyrics, the American girls.
That part.
I think of Bernie and Cat
And
doing it.
Cheryl. Let's be frank.
Well,
Lemon and
let's be
Fierce were
fair.
the only ones that really knew it.
Yeah.
No, that was like, this mini challenge was too funny, but at the same time, like, they had streamers, they had flags, banners, and then the blow up dolls.
Oh yeah, that killed me.
I was like, what is
That was-
happening?
Yeah.
And then what could not get out of my head when Eureka said, oh God, I'm not going to say it, but.
It's the
Yeah,
blow
let's-
up dolls for me.
Yeah, it was the blow up dolls
It's
for me.
the blow up dolls for me. Yay, mini challenge, we're back. But yes, I agree. I think the best person by far was Fierce, and she did win, and I was like, okay, cool. They're giving Fierce something. We'll take it. We'll take it.
And the way she was like, can I count this as a full win? I was just like, well, it's not a
We are now operating under the Lucy LaDuca system of mini and maxi challenge wins. So sure, I guess. I don't know. But we then find out that our maxi challenge for the week is reading battles. So it is the first time that they're taking the reading challenge and turning it into a maxi challenge, even though this was just a roast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Just a roast.
Just a roast.
I don't know that it was just a roast, because when I think of roast, I think like everybody's on the table, and it really was pretty direct.
4 of the 6 girls decided to throw in jokes that were not specifically about the person they were supposed to read.
True, but it was mostly focused on the person they were reading. So,
Well, yeah.
there's a thin line between a roast
Yeah.
and a read.
Yeah.
I think
But I do like this
challenge is-
idea for
Love this
a
idea.
main challenge. Mm-hmm.
Now, what I would like this, and I would have liked this also on a season where there were more girls, I would love this at top 8. And do it as a bracket style.
Ooh.
Oh, like a
So you-
Lollapalooza, but with
A little
reading.
bit. So you could prepare for the person that you know you're going up against in the first round, but you may not necessarily know who you're going up against in the subsequent rounds. And so I think that adds a level of improv challenge to it that I actually really like. Because it's like, okay, cool, you can prepare reads all you want for your first round opponent. Who knows who your second round opponent's going to be? And I kind of like that idea a little bit.
I see what you're saying, and I thought about that too, but I think the problem is we might see everybody kind of flopping in the second and third round if they're not fully prepared. Like, or somebody would have to prepare several reads for everybody. So it could be really hit or miss that way.
Totally. So because she wins the mini challenge, Fierce gets to pick her opponent. And she picks Lemon.
And the reason is so smart.
Genius reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there is a lot of material, And if she's in the bottom, she doesn't have to lip sync against Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing after when she first said it, I was like, smart. And then by the end of the episode, when I saw what the lip sync song was, I was like, oh, I see it. I see you, Fierce. I see you.
Yeah.
That also informs another decision she makes later, which we'll talk about. But
oh yes.
Yeah, and it's possible that she was also counting on, if Lemon wins a challenge, maybe she'll save me too.
That part.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it would make sense for the winner to save their partner.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think that would have happened regardless of who won this challenge. I will say that. I think that scenario would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless Fierce did ask to be in the bottom.
True.
Or ask not to be saved.
But I still think we'll talk about that scenario later. I do still think honestly Lemon would have saved Fierce. But yes, so Lemon gets to pick then who gets to pick their opponent next. No surprise here, she picked Cheryl. Which, okay. Did y'all notice the sheer number of times they called her Cheryl Hole again in this episode? It was like 4 or 5 times the girls are calling her Cheryl Hole. Like Eureka did it, Lemon did it. I was like, okay, so is she Cheryl or is she Cheryl Hole? I would like to know. But Cheryl picks Eureka. A smart move. Forcing Kennedy and Alexis to go up against each other. Smart move. Then you're guaranteeing at least one of the American girls is in the bottom.
Right.
So,
I mean, that choice was made no matter who she picked, though.
Well, yes, but I think the Canadians and Cheryl are really like, we just need to make sure that an American is in the bottom, please. Like, there's 6 of us left, and half of them are American on Canada versus the world. They don't want another American to win. But they prep their material. They're going through things. I love Fierce just not listening to Alexis. Not listening to a damn thing.
In her own world, like completely out of it. So good.
So good.
She's just such great television.
She's such good television.
So
and we got prep work with Brad and our guest judge for the week, Samantha B, who I knew of and love. So I was like, oh, good. This is a lovely addition. And the main thing that comes out of this is they're just like, oh, Kennedy, you're in danger, girl.
I believed it too. I was like,
I did.
This is not going well for her.
I know. I was like, her preparation was so focused on like getting the joke out, but not like doing the delivery.
And just the way she was up on the stage, like saying her jokes and then laughing at them while nobody else was. Was anybody else reminded of Alyssa Edwards?
oh yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm getting. Uh-oh.
And honestly, I thought about it and I was like, is this 100% real, or is Kennedy also playing strategy? Because she knows they're going to show rehearsal and she knows how funny she is. So I don't know if maybe she was trying to like not do that well in rehearsals to then come back and then kind of in the eyes of the judges show that she grew from rehearsal. Either way, smart.
I also think Kennedy is just better at improv comedy. I think that's honestly what it is. Like, she has done well in reading challenges before. She's a Snatch Game winner. So like, and she hasn't traditionally done super well in these scripted comedy challenges that she's had. She hasn't had that many, but she hasn't done like all that great at it. So I really do think Kennedy's humor comes from improving and bantering and having someone to go off of, which is why I think this challenge was a really good fit for her. Now, do I think she should have won? No. But we'll talk about it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Did anyone else have anything from the rehearsal part that stood out to them specifically?
I just love Cheryl coming out in that huge pink robe. I just love that.
I love Cheryl so much.
She was so good this episode. Her like narrating the season every time she comes up and confess. I just love her. She's so funny, like naturally. Love Cheryl.
Love.
I love Cheryl. Love Cheryl. I'm not sending her home this week. I love Cheryl. And then we get a bit of an Emmy moment situation. Where the girls are talking about, where their thick skin comes from. And I love that before Fierce could even tell her story, Kennedy's like, you don't have it.
Yep.
You don't have it yet. I'm like, that was one of those comments that's like, it is funny, but I'm like, I just don't feel... I will agree with what you said earlier, David. This is the most fun I found Alexis and Kennedy on Drag Race ever. But I'm also like, a little bit disappointed that it doesn't feel like they're connecting with the other girls as much. Whereas I feel like someone like Eureka really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of liked seeing it. But we get Fierce talking about... I have
to say, just to counter that, I agree with you, but I also understand because I think it was like in the beginning of the episode when they came in and they were all like gathered around the table. Kennedy seemed so over it when the girls were like kikiing.
Over Fierce.
Yeah, and like I understand from like her and Alexis being older than the girls because when I hang out with like 20-year-olds, I can't like it's so annoying. I understand. I get it.
What are you trying to say about 20-year-olds?
That they are annoying, and so was I when I was
Double down.
Period. Not I'm 29. I'm saying like 20, 21.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I'm giving you shit. I'm giving you shit. No,
Fine.
You
I'm
wish you
giving
were
you shit.
I'm
20.
sending it right back to you.
I'm 20. I'm so 20.
And like I'm putting myself in that because like when you're 20, you think you know everything. You think you're mature, and you're not. You're just annoying, and it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fine. It's part of life. It's just the truth.
How old is Fierce?
I think she's like 26, 25, 26 maybe.
I'm 26.
Oh no, she's 28. She's 1 year younger than me. She's 28. So not that young, but
she's older than me. Shit. All right.
Well,
but yeah, we get Fierce talking.
Anyway.
We get Fierce talking about being bullied growing up. And then we get a lot of talk from Eureka about the bullying that she's experienced. And we also hear from Cheryl talking specifically about her UK versus the World run and where everyone was like justice for Lemon, justice for Pangina and for Jimbo, but none for Cheryl. And I'm glad we got
her grandmother passed away like during the time that she was eliminated. Like
the day after she got eliminated, she got the news that her nan passed, and like that's God.
Yeah. I felt for her.
Me too, but I put myself back into like Cheryl's like the moment that season aired, and like I was disappointed by every elimination before the finale except for Cheryl's, and that's so sad for her, and I don't know what to do about it because I just didn't have that connection with Cheryl. So it's like it's really complicated. Like, should I feel bad that I wasn't like justice for Cheryl?
Yes.
Yes.
No, but here's the thing. I also wasn't upset when she went home just because she did the worst in that challenge.
Yeah.
But I did feel bad because I personally like Cheryl and I wanted to see more of her, and I knew she had more to show. But when someone was rightfully sent home because they were the worst in that particular challenge, I'm not going to be like, oh, justice for that person because it wasn't unfair.
Yeah.
I just wish she had the chance to show more, but her elimination was not unfair. I'm sorry.
Right.
But I do feel for
more
her
now.
Yes. And now she's showing what we knew she had back then. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also have to remember Cheryl was an alternate for UK versus the World.
Yeah.
So like she did have less time to prep. She had a little bit less time to, get in the headspace for it. So that's why I wish that like with the alternate girls, because there's a couple of them on this season that I think like their runway packages specifically haven't really been like the most elevated things in the world. And so I wish like give the alternate girl, like give them all enough time. I know it's like there's some like last minute circumstantial shit. And I think that's actually what happened with Cheryl. Because allegedly it was supposed to be Estina Mandela on UK versus the World 1. Put her on UK versus the World 3 then, please.
Yes.
I
Love
want more
her.
Estina Mandela.
Yes, please.
And then could you imagine the possibility of both Tia and Estina having a crown?
I would die because
I would die.
Come on, season 2 UK.
Period.
More people
Literally.
deserve crowns from that season for sure.
I want to see Bimini back so bad.
Need
She
taste.
won't.
Taste
Please.
and dry.
Taste as well, yes.
We'll see. But I will also say, and I have said this all season, I am not the world's biggest fan of Eureka. Never really have been. Probably never will be. But I have to say, this episode was the first time that I found Eureka not enjoyable to watch, but I was like, oh, okay. Like, this is the absolute realest I have ever felt Eureka has been on a Drag Race season.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
I was
there's
going to
clearly a lot of
mention the moment.
There's clearly a lot of factors that play into that too, as we heard throughout this episode. And I was happy to see it because I do agree absolutely with what you said at the start of the episode, David. There's a lot of the, a lot of the backlash that she has gotten is deserved, but not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm curious, have any of you watched We're Here?
With
Didn't finish
Eureka in it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never
Yes.
finished it.
Okay.
know.
Because I feel like that did a lot to endear me to her, especially season 3, because she was mid-transition in season 3 of We're Here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you got to see her like before she was presenting female and after she was presenting female in the same season. But she's a complicated human, like a lot of people are, and she does
Yeah.
things that are annoying to people. Like she has a lot of naturally annoying traits, and she's stuck with that. That's her personality. But she also makes decisions that are not good, like not paying your designer. That's not good. I don't know the history. I don't know the story behind that. But I don't think that we need thousands of people on the internet just coming at her and coming at her and coming at her, because it almost feels like
Calling her stinky?
right.
Too much.
It feels like a lot of people are not going to be satisfied until she does something about it, like something permanent. And I have that worry about Eureka sometimes because I know she's extremely sensitive, and she was begging on Twitter, begging people to please leave me alone. Please don't come to my shows and harass me about things. And it's just heartbreaking knowing that this person who, sure, has done bad things just cannot have peace in her life at all. And she's at the point where she's begging people to just stop. And that's why I wanted to wear this shirt, because yeah, she's not my favorite queen. Like she's not somebody I was rooting for going into the season, but she's still a human, and I hate to see humans hurting. And I think she's really hurting. She's probably regretting doing this season. But I hope that changes. And I hope, especially with this episode and getting a lot of vulnerability from her, I hope people can see her as a dynamic human that has flaws and has things that are positive about them too. And hey, why can't we just acknowledge both and not be crappy to her?
Agreed.
Yeah. Here's the thing. As a person that is also not a fan of Eureka, I recognize her talent as an entertainer. Yes, entertainer. But I'm just not a fan. I don't personally like her. But honestly, that's where it ends. That's where it ends. You don't have to like someone, but if you don't like someone, don't go to their First of all, going to someone's page on the internet and leaving a nasty comment is already bad enough. But going in person to their show to say it to the that's just honestly, you don't have to like her. But if you think she's a bad person and that's what you do because you think she's a bad person, you're not better than her at all. So period.
Oh, at all.
Period. And also, I wanted to say, like, this episode, like I said, not a fan of Eureka, but I don't have to like someone to root for them as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like her, but I am rooting for her because I relate to her story a lot. When I was very emotional watching it because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I don't care because everyone that knows me knows this, but I struggled with addiction for most of my life. I've been to rehab. Like it's I know that feeling, and when she was talking about how hard it is to stay sober, like my story is different because I still smoke. That's like I do harm reduction. That's my journey, but it is so hard, and I just really felt for her in that moment. And as a human being, I am rooting for her always. So
yeah, I'm glad that she's finally finding who she is and where she can exist in the world, and I hope that with time the world will be a little bit kinder to her. Because I think she is, from at least the perspective that I'm getting, it seems like she has learned from what has happened. So.
All I have to say, like, if you don't like someone, just leave them alone. Like, go live your life. Leave them alone. If they're not doing anything to you, just go support who you like.
Girls that you do like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Like, well, with all that being said, shall we talk about more fun, exciting things like being shady?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
This one. Because I love this Brooklyn Heights look made by Utica.
Oh.
Her.
Oh shit.
And
also them matching. So perfect.
Because we also have to talk about the return of Serene Fox. Yay!
Yes. Not as a guest judge, but apparently rotating with Tracy
spot. The Tracy spot.
Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about that.
I was a little
honestly, we deserve it. I'm so happy.
And I love Tracy dearly. Put Serene on the panel also.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 5 people on a panel. It happens more often than not. Or worst case scenario, Miss Tracy's out there living her best journalist news anchor life. I'm not mad at a rotating spot between Serene and Tracy. And I'm glad that they are showing Serene Fox the recognition and the love that she deserves, because she really is an incredible judge. This episode, I would say less so, but it's because it's her first episode on this season. So I understand that, like, we didn't get to see a whole lot of her, but what we did see of her, I really, really enjoyed.
You know what I think? Because the judges gave the critiques right after the performance. I think maybe that
was really
threw it off a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's why it was a little bit different. Yeah, it was weird for me, but
I also want to acknowledge that it seems like Brad is taking our recommendations from last week because he is wearing much less clothing. And it's see-through. And I wasn't mad at it.
Me neither.
Oh, at all.
I do want to talk about Brooklyn's look because I have complicated feelings on this. There's a lot that I like about it, but you all know I'm not a big fan of a nude, and I don't know how to fix this. But for me, the nude, like, mini skirt or whatever mini dress she's wearing underneath it just kind of detracted from the look for me, because if I squint, I'm like, ooh, I really like what I see. But then, like, just seeing the actual, is it see-through? Maybe, I don't know. But I
think it's tulle. I think it's very like sheer tulle. Maybe. Okay. I do kind of agree with you because I am on the same boat about the nude illusion. We know that, but here's one thing that would have made it perfect for me. If I don't mind the nude illusion like on the body, but the seams, like the finishings, where like you can see more fabric, I wish that instead of a nude would have been black. So we would be like more graphic. I think that would have elevated it for me even more. But I'm obsessed with this look. It's so good.
I mean, I'm obsessed.
It's giving
with
M&Ms, right? It's giving M&M.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of some candy. I don't know if it's M&Ms, but I feel like there's a different similar candy, and I can't think of what it is. It's like Sweet Tarts, maybe. That's what I'm getting. Sweet Tarts. Do they have black and white Sweet Tarts?
No, this is an art reference, and none of you are getting it. And I don't have.
No, I know the art
brain
reference.
the
I'm just
art
forgetting
reference.
the name of it. I'm forgetting the name of it.
It's fine.
No, because I've
What
seen
What can
it.
you
before.
educate us? I would love to know.
Yeah,
I'm
sassy
trying to-
pants.
Hello?
Well,
Oh, so you don't know either because you're Googling it. Okay,
Let me
period.
Google real quickly so I can.
Got it.
inform you.
Okay.
It's okay.
I
I
didn't
thought that's
say that
you.
I knew what the reference was. I said I know.
No, you just
I
said that we
I
didn't.
felt. Yeah, because you didn't.
I love what's going on
But did
here
you?
on this side.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
We'll never know.
Anyway, fuck you.
Well,
Surprise Logan's like, well, your team's losing right now.
Well, the U.S. won the gold, so fuck you.
Oh, is it over?
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Sorry, River.
Yeah, it's over.
oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna be looking out for the doping allegations that are coming out and all the
Ooh.
suing that's gonna happen with y'all team. So it's okay. Don't worry. Come
Everything
on.
is alleged.
Everything.
Oh yeah, the World Anti-Doping Association is allegedly investigating y'all. So, anyways,
I'm not surprised.
see, I cannot wait to see how that turns out.
Anyway,
You know, nothing's gonna happen, but anyway.
First round, Fierce versus Lemon.
Actually, first round was me against you, but this is round two.
It's me versus River. And I won. So,
Well-
River, I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination.
I'm sending myself home.
I'm going home.
I'm going home.
What did we think of Fierce versus Lemon?
I personally thought they were both good. I think what really gave Lemon the advantage here was that she was able to be quick on her feet and respond back to everything that Fierce was giving her. And Fierce was not doing the same thing back. So I kept I was rooting for Fierce to actually win this one. And it was like, come on, Fierce, give her something back, give her something back. But she had good reads. So I want to give her credit for that. Like both of them were very good. I do think my favorite read of this pairing was the callback to the reading challenge in season 1, where Lemon said the only
thing you're fucking is up in this competition.
Yes.
The best read of the night for me.
Yep.
I was like,
Oh, it was one
And
of the
she
best,
did
but I have a different one.
well,
I do
and she
too.
did it right, and she did it right after Fierce said, you're like, it was the riding Priyanka's coattails
Mhm.
thing. She was
Mhm.
so smart to then just tie that right in to her joke that she was going to make. That's ultimately why I think Lemon won. I do think Fierce did very, very well also. Yeah. So I think Lemon did really, really well. Fierce did really well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I was very like the Priyanka coattail still got me, and then just immediately right after, just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one read that Fierce didn't deliver as well, and then Lemon kind of piggybacked off it. Like the volleys that Lemon was able to go off of Fierce, like that's what won Lemon for me.
And Lemon was really trying to throw it back at Fierce so Fierce could be successful. Like, I really saw it as I saw that they were doing it kind of as like a joint, or at least Lemon was trying to make it kind of a joint thing, and Fierce just wasn't. She was, as she says later, she was just in her head.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like Lemon was trying to set Fierce up so she could like hit it out of the park, and then she wouldn't hit it. I could see that, and I think they both did very well. I think they had good jokes on paper. Both had good jokes on paper, but Lemon had a better delivery, and again, with the quickness and the smartness of the comebacks that she had, were so good. And I think that when Lemon started to have good comebacks, it kind of threw Fierce off a little bit, I think. And that's when she started to stumble.
Mhm.
And after she started to stumble, she kind of picked back up a little bit, but it was already Lemons after that. So, but they both looked so beautiful.
Mhm.
Like the coordinated outfits, I love that. Because it's not like matching, but it's kind of on the same like theme. So I do love that attention to detail as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just reminded of one of my other favorite reads from Lemon, where she's like, Fierce reminds me so much of Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, and that they have both been relentlessly fucked by Brooklyn Heights.
I thought you were
And
going
then
to say the lazy eye one. The lazy eye.
Oh, the lazy eye one was so
Mm.
good. And Kenny was like,
Mhm,
no. And then coming to the
Sorry.
realization that, coming to the realization that Alexis Mateo could have been Brooklyn Heights' mother-in-law. Like all of that, like I pieced that together I was like, oh shit. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Lemon did win, and she does win. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll talk about the looks later too, because we have the looks. Because apparently they did a runway walk, and it wasn't shown. So,
And that's tea. That is tea.
Thanks for the tea, Fierce. We appreciate you. So,
if you're not on Twitter, you're only getting half the story.
Correct. Let's talk about our round 2 matchup, Eureka versus Cheryl. This one was also pretty clear to me, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think this was my least favorite matchup overall, and not because they were bad. I think they both had some pretty good jokes in there. I do want to talk a lot about this Princess Fiona gate, because when I watched this, I was like, wow, that's actually a really dirty move from Cheryl, because I thought she straight up knew that she was going to make that joke and stole it from her on purpose before she could use it. And I was like, that's really bad. Like I would almost like disqualify her for doing that. But then we find out that they both were fed the joke by 2 different people.
From 2 different people.
What in the world?
Also, it's the second time this week on a Drag Race episode that we have a Shrek reference. And the
I
Fiona
know!
specifically.
I was like, there are so many Shrek 2 references.
Oh no, the other one was not Fiona. It was the fairy godmother.
It was the fairy godmother. I was like, so many references to Shrek 2 this week, and I'm living because that is my favorite movie.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So,
and that gave us my favorite read of the night, which was Cheryl's comeback to Brooklyn, because Brooklyn said that she saw a resemblance with both of them, and then Cheryl said, "Thank you, Lord."
Thank you, Lord Farquaad.
Screamed. That was the best joke of the night for me. But also Brooklyn presenting the girls and reading them when she's presenting Cheryl, and she said she's British and so are her teeth.
Yep. And then Cheryl's like, I paid a lot of money for this.
Now, I will say, I'm going to go ahead and say, I think Cheryl probably would have been my winner of this challenge, because beyond the fucking up in this competition read that Lemon had, my other favorite moment was after Eureka has her entire opening monologue. Cheryl just sits there for a second and goes, "Oh, I just wanted to embrace the silence. It's really difficult with this one."
No, that's so.
And I
She was so smart.
I love that Serene acknowledged it and praised her for it too, because I was like, yes, Serene. This is why Serene Fox is such a fucking good guest judge, and we just need her as a permanent judge. Please. Thank you. Canada's Drag Race, are you listening? Thank you. We love Tracy too. Keep them both. And Brad, because he's hot. But that was the single best moment of their battle. And for me, I was like, oh, well, Cheryl has won instantly for me.
Yeah. You could tell that Eureka was really thrown off after the Fiona joke. And
Oh,
she was not
got-
able to recover after that. She was not. But here's the thing with Eureka, I did think that she had a lot of good jokes on paper. I personally didn't really enjoy her delivery of the jokes. Like her timing and delivery was a little off for me. But the jokes were good. I agree with, I think it was David that said that this was, as a pair, it was like the worst as a pair because the banter was not on the same level. Like the other two pairs had very balanced battles, and this was very much one-sided and clearly Cheryl's.
I do also love that we get a comment later, or we get a comment earlier from Samantha B, where we get a very specific line talking about, oh, Samantha, how do you know that you've crossed the line in a roast? And Samantha's kind of just like, oh, well, you know when you're on the other side of the line. And when Eureka made a human trafficking joke, I was like, so Eureka's on the other side of the line. Cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that human
It's like,
trafficking one,
oh.
I was like, oh,
It's like,
not this.
No.
I felt for her because it was right. It was her trying to recover from being thrown off from Cheryl doing the Fiona joke. So I kind of get it, but it was very, it was an overstep.
Like her loony joke was good. She had a couple of like good like jokes, like you said, River, on paper, but nothing really just translated in the way that I wanted. So, and Cheryl does win the battle. Agreed. Deserve. So, let's talk about our third pairing, Kennedy versus Alexis.
Yeah, for me, this was the most even and the most enjoyable matchup. I was actually just rewatching it because I was like, I know there were so many good reads in there, and I wanted to soak them back in. And this is the one that had my favorite read when Alexis was talking about Kennedy having such a beautiful smile. It's too bad she takes it out every morning and puts it in water.
So
Or every night.
No, that was my favorite joke of the entire.
So good.
So good.
Oh my god.
Now, I might be on the other side of things here. I didn't like Kennedy's performance all that much.
Really?
Valid.
I thought they were both really good. I do think this, I agree with you on David, when you said that this was the most evenly matched. I absolutely agree with that. I don't think Kennedy completed the challenge. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think what she was saying was good, but most of her reads were, bitch, fuck you.
Like, I don't think so.
Like, I don't know. I don't even think Kennedy won this matchup. For me, I actually preferred Alexis's jokes because it felt a little bit more like Alexis understood the assignment and Kennedy was just bantering like she does when she hosts a show, which is not bad, but that's not exactly what this challenge pertained to.
You know what this gave me, Logan? Shannon's roast on Drag Race Brazil.
Yes!
Where she was really funny. She was really funny, but it was not what the assignment was.
The assignment.
Exactly.
Shocker.
But she
4
was extremely
episodes
funny.
of this season, and we have made a Drag Race Brazil reference every single episode of this season.
I cannot not block the similarities. I mean, it's just it is honestly just a coincidence because for the other franchises that's not happening as much. So
no.
I mean, it wasn't the fact that there was supposed to be a Brazilian queen on this season. Wasn't there supposed to be?
Aquarela, allegedly.
Yeah.
But I'm sad because then we would have had at least one episode of me being able to say Aquarela.
Yeah. I think Kennedy did understand the assignment. Like she was clearly roasting Alexis. It was just a lot of the same type of joke because it was all about her wearing a toupee. Like she presented that joke and then some about her not speaking well, her English not being good.
Very good looking.
Right, not good looking.
It was very generic. Whereas at least I thought with Alexis's jokes, like where she was like her hairline. Like I like the hairline jokes, obviously, because they're both older. They know each other. They can make those jokes. But Alexis's, when she was just like, her hairline doesn't even want to be close to her face.
Right.
That's a funny and unique way to do a hairline joke. And I don't think Kennedy really did that. I think Kennedy won because she went to go do her toupee joke and her wig fell off. I'm going to be honest.
No, that was part of the joke.
Was that planned?
No,
Yes, it was.
that was
Oh.
not. No, it wasn't.
I will.
See,
no,
I
unless,
cannot
unless
tell.
She literally,
I cannot tell.
No, David, she literally said during critique that it was, she was like,
No,
I didn't even realize that would
misunderstood.
happen.
You misunderstood.
No, she didn't realize. She didn't realize that the wig was stuck to her back.
Yes, she
That's
thought
what
it
she
was going
didn't
to come
realize.
off all the way. She said
Okay.
she
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, because that was
No,
absolutely.
That's what I
the wig.
understand.
No,
That's
the
what I
wig actually
understand.
fell off, but then it just stayed
Okay.
behind her
Yeah.
outfit.
Yeah.
Which-
Which
But
I
I
thought
think
was
the wig
hilarious.
falling off was intentional because she did do that like movement for that to happen. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
What I'm gonna say, Logan, I think Alexis had better jokes, but I think Kennedy had a better delivery
Mhm.
of the thing. Like
I
here's the thing.
understand that.
She said she did something that other girls were critiqued a lot for in similar challenges, which is using bitch to start or finish every joke.
And they're not going to critique
Like
her on it.
Detox got that critique of like relying on that. Ariel Versace as well got that
I was
critique of like
literally about
relying
to
on
say
words.
Ariel. Yeah,
Yes.
Ariel Versace was the other one that I had in mind too.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But that is Kennedy. Like that feels natural for her.
I
So-
know. I'm just saying she didn't get critiqued, and other girls did for doing the
But
same
were
thing.
they
That is
judged by Brooklyn?
that's my point.
Were they judged by Brooklyn?
That's what
though?
I'm saying. They were judged by Michelle and Rue, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I honestly think this was the best duo. So if they were judging by like whose team did the best together, they would have been my top two.
Mhm.
But because they were judging who was the best out of the two during the battle, for me, this one was the closest. But
Mhm.
for me, I would have given it to Alexis.
I
But
think
it
I
was
would have too.
very much by a hair.
Mhm.
By Kennedy's wig
I'm-
hair. Basically.
now, do we think if Alexis had won this battle, do we think Alexis wins this challenge? Because I don't think so.
No.
No.
For me, it was Cheryl, then Lemon, then Alexis.
For me, it
For me.
could have gone to either Cheryl or Lemon, and it would have just been really, well, now I know at this point, and I'm not spoiled, but now I know Cheryl's not winning a fucking badge. So, like, whatever. And I'm annoyed by it because there were two golden opportunities to give Cheryl a challenge win finally. And they're not going to do it to her.
And
it's
it
like,
was
on
both
this
the
season-
challenges that they gave it to Kennedy, right? Because it was the improv challenge that could have gone to Cheryl, but I kind of agree because Kennedy's runway was better. So
Mhm.
that one I was kind of like, okay, that's fair. But here, like I'm not mad. The Kennedy one, I just don't agree. But like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
I honestly think it's the same kind of situation with my conspiracy theory that Cheryl would have saved Phil in episode 2 had she won. I think Cheryl saves Eureka here, and I don't think they wanted Eureka saved.
Yep. I mean,
Honestly.
It also comes down to different people having different opinions. Like Cheryl wouldn't have any wins if it was me judging. Like I thought she was good in episode 2, but I liked Lemon and Kennedy better. So in this one, I liked Lemon better. I liked Alexis better. Maybe Kennedy. I don't know. I wouldn't have given Cheryl the win.
Okay.
It is very
I
subjective
would've-
because
I
like
would've
I was gonna
given
say
them-
nobody flopped, so it kind of does make sense. It could have kind of gone 3 different directions or 4
Right.
different directions, and it would have made sense.
Yeah, honestly, 4 different directions. Because
There was
honestly,
a
Yeah.
clear bottom 2.
Yep.
Exactly.
So,
And the
Yeah,
top 4 could have all won. So
yeah.
yeah. mhm.
Do we want to talk about the looks here or just save that discussion for look over here?
for the girls, I think to give them justice, let's just talk about it on Look Over Here and give them their flowers since the show didn't.
Yeah.
I think.
So, like, y'all saw the looks. They're on the screen. We'll talk
Mhm.
about it more later when in the Look Over Here episode. We will acknowledge that there were runway looks that were presented. And some of them were really good. So I'm excited to talk about them. But as we talked about, Our top 3 was Lemon, Cheryl, and Kennedy, based simply on the fact that they won their reading battle. And they give the win to Kennedy.
Sure.
Yay.
Sure.
I'm happy
I'm not
for
mad
Kennedy,
because I like
but
Kennedy and she did
Right.
well, but like, sure.
I'm a little mad this time. I'm going to be honest, actually. I'm a little mad this time. I'm just a scotch. Because I
Little bit.
really just do think that, like, if this was Kennedy's first win, thrilled for Kennedy. I just didn't particularly connect to her set in this episode. So that's just me personally. But
Mm-hmm.
and obviously our bottom 3, Fierce, Eureka, and Alexis, because they lost their battles. We go into Untucked, and Fierce is like, I don't want the beaver.
And then when we saw the lip sync song, because I was like gagged, like Lemon was gagged, everyone was gagged. But then when I saw the lip sync song, I was like, okay, I see it.
Well, it
I
makes
see the
sense
vision.
why. Yeah,
It makes
I see
sense.
the vision as well.
But also, when Kennedy was announced the winner, immediately I knew she was going to pick Alexis for the
I was
Golden
like,
Beaver.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. So Fierce and Eureka are lip syncing. Cool, got it.
Great.
Like,
Exactly. They're friends. She saved her last week. They were partners. Like, it just, and Alexis didn't do bad. So,
Mhm. Plus,
it was
Kennedy's
very
already saved Fierce. So you did it
Mhm.
once. You don't need to do it a second time.
And
so.
Alexis saved Kennedy last week, so
Right.
like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, it's feeling a little bit of Kiki Ko and Melinda Verga from Canada season 4, where like they just keep
Mhm.
saving each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like to see one of the two of them lip sync. I'll be honest, I would like to see
Mhm.
one of the two of them lip sync. But this is also where we got Eureka having, a very emotional moment talking about being sober and the difficulties she's had in the competition. And I feel for her. And I agree with exactly what you said earlier, River. I don't particularly like Eureka, the character that is on the show. No, I'm not a fan of Eureka's, but I am rooting for her because I hope that she is able to figure out exactly who she wants to be and be that good person in the world. So
Yeah, I'm
clearly
rooting
the girls
for
in this
her all
cast
the way.
liked her, as we saw at the end of the episode. But to no one's surprise whatsoever, Kennedy saves Alexis. We end up
And Fierce being the actress that she is, she was like, what?
I loved it.
I love her. I love her.
So we have the besties, Fierce and Eureka, in the bottom 2, lip syncing to Hush Hush by the Pussycat Dolls.
More Pussycat Dolls lip syncs. More.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is this finally the redemption of I Will Survive that we've needed since season 8 of Drag Race?
Yes. Very.
It might be.
Yeah. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed this lip sync. I really did it. There was, for me, a very, very clear winner.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I was texting my roommate and my roommate actually disagreed with the win.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh.
thought that Eureka won this lip sync, and I was like, no. But I do
No.
see it.
I do see it
Was
too,
it the
but
first time that he saw Eureka performing? Because
No.
then that would make sense.
No,
But if
he is
it wasn't, I don't
Cloud
understand.
that, River.
Oh no. Oh no, he
It
has
was
watched
bad lip
every
sync, but she could have been lip syncing to any song.
hmm
But
oh,
you
truly.
know,
And that's what put it over the top for me. Is just like Fierce became a member of the Pussycat Dolls.
Mhm.
she could have been in she looked like she was in a music video. And
She
I
looked like she
knew,
was
I
in
just
the
knew,
React
because
music
we're this,
video.
exactly. I was like, I just knew that when she was younger, she was locked in a room pretending to be in a
yeah.
Pussycat Doll music video, and
Mhm.
that is what she did on the stage.
She
I
was
was
Nicole
so
Scherzinger
happy for
girl.
Little Fierce. Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that she ended, so auntie. So, like she ate that up. Honestly,
She did.
we gotta give it to her. She just tore.
Yeah, there was not a world for me where Eureka won this lip sync. Eureka did good,
No.
but it was just a
She
lot
did
of like,
very
Yeah.
good.
yeah, it was like
Yes.
a lot of the moves that come across sometimes as desperate. Even like the splits thing, like we've seen it a lot. Eureka, like
I like
Eureka's
the
good.
timing of her stunts here. I will say, like, it's
Yes.
the same stunts. It's the high kick into the turnaround into the that we always get from Eureka, even in a ballad. I'm still but it was a solid performance. But Fierce really just she ate.
She embodied the song.
It.
Like she was giving the song.
Yeah.
So, but Eureka did a good performance. It was just I didn't think her performance connected with the song.
I agree. Any other thoughts?
Oh, I just wanted to mention I loved Eureka's lip sync outfit. Both of them actually, but Eureka's I really like that. I really like it.
I love the trans flag harness situation of it all. I was like, that's really cute. Fierce looked great. Fierce looked right out of actually the React music video.
Yes.
I also think it's interesting that the girl group that we got in episode 1, they've been the top 3 out of 4
episodes. 3 out of the 4
so.
episodes. They won't be next week because only 2 people will be in the top.
This will be very interesting. So
I wonder if they're gonna do the beaver next week.
I feel like they would have told us if this was the last time.
Well, because they stopped on Canada season 4, they stopped it at top 6. So I'm really interested to see. Yeah, because after top 6, it just started being lip sync for your life again, and the judges chose the bottom 2. So I'm intrigued. But Fierce wins the lip sync. Deserve. We do lose Eureka, and of the people left in the competition, she is the one that I'm like, okay, cool. She can go. I like everyone else more than I like Eureka. So.
And I think everyone else is kind of doing a little bit better in this competition, right? Because Eureka did a lot better in the other times that she competed. This time, I don't think she was in the best frame of mind. Maybe she seemed to be a little bit in her head. Like she didn't, for example, on the lip sync, I didn't see as much as she did a good performance, I didn't see the fire that Eureka usually has when she's performing. So maybe she had something else on her mind and kind of threw her off, but she still had a great showing, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. The only other thing I have to say about this episode is it did give a good soundbite that I pulled as a clip, and I'm sure I'm
never
going
got to use.
I know. I'm sure I'm going to use this a lot. Anytime I'm frustrated with the season.
Yeah.
Alexis said this.
I hope this show gets canceled and never renewed.
Love that.
Oh my god, I like this.
With
It's
more
so
girls.
funny.
Thank you.
Love.
But let's update on the draft because things are getting spicy.
Two
Literally.
people swapped places.
Sure did. River, you're still last. But I am now third.
Oh.
I too am now just down to lemon. So I have 28 points. Eve has 28.5 points. Brandon has 29.5 points. So it is still anybody's game.
And this is the first time I'm leading a draft.
Correct. And next week, finally, we are getting Snatch Game the Rusical. And I'm really intrigued to see. I cannot wait to see how this turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Where's RuPaul? Yes. There's RuPaul. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
This preview is building up. Them
Cheryl
choosing
versus Kennedy.
Yeah, them choosing the roles. Be like, oh, here we go. Choreography is a mess, and then, but we're getting Alessia Cara next week, which I'm so happy.
I hope we get "Stay" as a lip sync song.
I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cheryl is kind of tired of Kennedy winning
beautiful.
the challenges that she was close to winning. So I think that's why we get that moment next episode.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Who do we think is going to struggle? Because I honestly don't know.
I really don't know.
It really feels like
maybe
Cheryl are leaving next.
Yeah.
In the Snatch Game, I don't know how well Fierce can play other characters. I hope to see her doing well, but she's the one I worry the most.
Who did she do on her Snatch Game? I don't even
Jojo
remember.
Siwa.
Don't remember.
No, Fierce did not.
No,
No, that was
lemon.
lemon.
No,
That
no,
was
lemon.
lemon.
I thought you said lemon. Fierce did
Oh, she did Kourtney Kardashian, I think. She did one of the Kardashians. I think.
I
Let's
don't
confirm.
remember. Wow.
Let's confirm here.
Yeah, I think because that's why I don't remember it as much, because they didn't show as much of it.
No, yeah, Fierce's Snatch game was not memorable, I'll be honest. So.
I was like, I literally can't tell you who she did. So
Mhm.
Yeah, she did Kourtney Kardashian.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because it was just like a random like, huh? But
Mhm.
well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining us for this episode recap for Canada's Drag Race Crave Original Canada vs. the World. We'll be back next week to talk all about the penultimate episode of the season. I'm sad this season is almost over. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on your way out. Check the description below for our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, all of our social medias, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup, mug, boom, boom, boom. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. So, cheers.
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 Hello, bonjour.
Oh,
Bye.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Oh.
I can't wait for Canada season 5. Honestly, I need it now.
Honestly.